Go.
Hello everyone. It was wonderful to see and hear from many of you today. It was a nice surprise. Of course, I think we all agreed we'd rather be back at the school than doing this online, but those are the cards that we were dealt, so we got to play them to the best of our ability. What this video is going to show you is what we would have done had we come back today to school instead of been doing this online. I had originally purchased seeds, radish seeds, for every student. I had an empty plastic cup for every student. There you can see the cup. And I had soil for every student. And we were going to plant seeds, and we were going to grow the seeds and watch them germinate, and then eventually grow into seedlings. And then you would take them home, and you could plant them into a larger pot, and maybe put it on your back porch, or if you live in an apartment, on your second floor balcony or something like that. And then by the time summer gets here, you would have radishes, which is what these are. I picked radishes because radishes take, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, I'm going to move it a little bit closer, 4 to 7 days to germinate. Right there, Mrs. B is using her finger there to help me out here because this tripod doesn't go as low as I would like. So you want something with not much more of a germination period than that. Basically what that means is over those 4 to 7 days, by the 4th day, as early as the 4th day, but as late as the 7th day, you should see roots growing through the bottom of your cup, okay? Now all I've done is I have filled up the cup. I didn't have a pan balance. That would have been the scientific way to measure the soil into this cup, was to use a pan balance and measure by, yes, some of you out there said grams. Others of you were thinking of it. I have that confidence in you. We would measure the mass of the soil in grams and put it in the cup. Okay? Now the first thing that you're going to want to do with these cups, and I've already done this with this cup that has the soil in it, but I wanted to show you this. And if I had my crystal ball plugged in and would have known that we weren't coming back to school, I would have brought a push pin home and done this. But you want to try to poke a couple holes in the bottom of the cup, and this is a lot easier to do when you're not on camera, so I'm just going to have to push the bottom of the cup back out. Okay, and you can probably see there's a hole right there. Okay, I'm putting another hole on the other side. You're probably saying, why are you putting holes in the cup? Won't the soil fall out? Actually, I want holes in the bottom of the cup so that any extra water, if we overwater these things, it can drain out. Okay, because potting soil, that's what this is, potting soil. Can you see the little white things? There's some white things here, a white thing there, okay, white thing here. All those little white things, they're like little miniature sponges. And they're supposed to soak up water. So if you forget to water your plant, the potting soil can cover you for a day or two if you forget, okay? But you want to have a couple holes in the bottom of your cup like this, and this is for drainage, okay? So I'm going to put this cup over here and sort of skip ahead. The only thing I'm really skipping ahead to is I'm putting soil into the cup, okay? So I took soil that was in this bag and I filled it up to the cup to where it was about 2/3, maybe a little bit closer to 3/4 of the cup is full of soil, okay? I'm trying to turn it angled like this so you can see how much soil is in there, because if I turn it like this, straight up and down, a top view, you can't see anything. It's sort of like trying to play Madden in blimp mode. Doesn't work too well. You know, you need to have that sideline shot. I don't know any other games that might use that, so that's the only analogy I've got for you on that. So I'm going to try to level this out a little bit, and I have a little ruler here. Okay, my ruler is other than nothing more than to just give me an idea of how far I want these seeds to go down in the soil, because I don't want to cram them all the way down to the bottom. I don't want them to be crammed down here because I want to see the roots grow down towards the bottom of the cup. I want you to be able to see that, because roots grow towards the bottom, towards the center of the earth, because of gravity. So if we just plant these seeds at the bottom of the cup, we'll never see that. So the easiest way I know how to do this is to take a pencil and I've kind of already measured this ahead of time, but I'll do it one more time for you. Do you see the 4 centimeter mark right above my thumb right here? Okay, that's kind of the general area of where I want to stop making my hole. Okay, so I'm going to kind of eyeball that as to be right about there. And I'm going to take this pencil, unsharpened pencil, and I'm just going to push down, and I'm going to try like, and I did not plan ahead of time. I should have actually opened this package of radish seeds. So Mrs. B is standing here, so she's going to open this package of radish seeds. But maybe you can see what I'm doing here with the pencil. I'm trying to sort of make like a little trough, and then, okay, very good. She's going to drop some seeds down in there. I like to drop like, 3 or 4, because if you happen to get a bad seed or something like that, and notice she's doing a really good job of keeping them close to the edge. And then I'm just going to drag this soil in from the center. But if you look right here, there's a seed. And I think if we look really close, we can see another one right there. But these aren't the only seeds that I'm going to put in here. We're going to plant seeds in 3 different spots. So I'm going to do the exact same thing 2 more times. So I'm going to go ahead and push down and make a little, I don't know, trough's probably not the best word, but a little opening, and hopefully Mrs. B can get them in there. She did a good job. Now if I can just push them to the side, there we go, and then maybe just look, see those 3 right there? Bam, 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 there's 3 nice seeds. Now we're going to go to another little section. I'm just kind of sort of dividing the cup into thirds to the best of my ability. I know Mr. Verspro probably would rather I said that in a different way, but anyhow, oh, look at that. That is perfect. See how all those seeds are right there near the edge of the cup? Now, somebody out there is probably saying, what's the whole deal whether it's next to the cup, in the center of the cup? If you have it next to the cup, you can see the little hair-like roots that initially come out of the seed, and that's the germination process. Okay, the plant goes through, you have germination, you become, a seedling, and then there's pollinization, and then seed dispersal, like if you take the little dandelion and you blow it and the little things fly across the yard, and mom and dad or whoever you live with gets really upset because now you've distributed weeds all over their front yard. That's seed dispersal. So this is just one of the steps, but if you have the seeds next to the edge of the cup, you can see this happen. So I need to get going here a little bit. So the first day I like to do this, and I like to try to measure, and this is always so much fun to try to do, is measure 25 milliliters of water. So I'm going to move this cup off to the side here. Don't worry about those. Those are some squash seeds. I'm going to plant squash and watermelon so we can compare 3 different types of plants. But Mrs. B is going to pour a little bit of water for me because I'm also on a time crunch here.
Where am I going?
Just keep going until I say stop. About right there. All right, I was shooting for 25 milliliters, and you're going to have to take my word for it when I tilt it like this, okay? Because if I turn it sideways, it's going to pour out. But I am right about 23 milliliters. So I'm going to go ahead and add just a smidge more to it, okay? So you guys can know I'm adding water. And then I'm looking at the side, and I'm lining up the very center of the meniscus here. That's that little curved portion, okay? It's really hard to see, but the curved portion of this little curve, we'll need that. Okay. Now, could you go get one of those little pill cups that we pour the NyQuil in? Now, some of you are probably saying, but Mr. B, I don't have a graduated cylinder at home. How am I going to measure the water I pour on my plant? Well, if you've ever taken NyQuil, or somebody has taken NyQuil or Dayquil in your house, those little cups have a 15 milliliter and a 30 milliliter line on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this cup off to the side, and here's one of those cups. See, 30 milliliters on this side, and well, this one is making a liar out of me, but some of them have 15 milliliters, so you can, because a 30 milliliters is a full dose, 15 milliliters is half a dose. So what you could do is you could just pour this almost up to where And I had like a little bit too much in there actually, but you know what? This might actually work out really good because I wanted 30 milliliters to begin with. And it's really hard to see, but there's almost 30 milliliters. If I turn it any more, it's going to spill out all over the place. And I'm going to take this water and I'm going to just pour it over the plant. Now, you're probably saying, what if that's too much water? That's what the holes in the bottom are for. So I'm going to pour a little water near the edges because that's where our seeds are. And the first day, I like to give it a nice, good little drink. And look at that. You can probably see how it's soaking it up, okay? All right, and you can look and it's already dripping out onto the paper towel here, okay? So I'm not going to give it any more water for probably a couple days, but look, there you can see our seeds right there, getting a nice drink. And if you look at the bottom of the cup, I don't know if you guys can see it drip or not, but maybe if I turn it like that, can you see it drip? Mrs. B's putting her hand there to catch water. Can you see it? It's dripping a little bit, okay? All right, so 30 milliliters, probably maybe a little bit too much for day one, but it's all right as long as we don't dump 30 milliliters in every single day. Okay, so I'm not going to water these for probably another 2 or 3 days. Probably Friday would be the day I would water these. But that's how you plant your radish seeds. You can also make yourself a little handy dandy chart to go along with it. I just took a piece of paper and basically folded it hot dog style all the way down, and then I folded it in hamburger style and then hamburger style again. So I had 8 sections. It doesn't really matter. You just need to have 3 columns. I'm using this red line as one of my columns. So you have day number. Okay, this would be, I called this day 0, okay, because this is the first day we planted it. But like day 2, our action's going to be probably, just look at it. We're not going to give it any more water, but we'll make an observation. Maybe day 4, we'll give it some more water. That's what we would write in our action column. And our observation, and notice I put an S on there, observations, is because you might make more than one observation. So that being said, that's how you plant your seeds. If you have any questions, you can hit me up during, well, don't hit me up, but you can look me up during office hours from 10:30 to 11:30, and or class meeting from 8:30 to 9 o'clock in the morning. Have a great one. Bye, guys.